Hi, my name is Tricia Cunningham. And for those of you who don't know, my husband, Craig Cunningham, passed away about a year ago. In this last year, I have had about 5 or 6 dreams about Craig that just really stood out to me, and they've been very comforting, where I got to see him and talk to him and hang out. And one, he hugged me, and another, he kissed me. And it was just incredibly meaningful to me. And my kids have had dreams about him too, occasionally over the last year. And my daughter, about a few months ago, had a dream where she saw him, not only saw him, she was hanging out with him in this meadow. And she said they were just talking, and it was the greatest dream. She felt like she got to hang out with him all night long. And at one point in the dream, she asked him something about Jesus. And she said he sat up and he looked at her, and he just got this look on his face. And he said, "Oh, I have dates with Jesus all the time." And I have thought about that statement. I have dates with Jesus all the time. And I've thought about what would that mean to Craig? Like, are they hanging out, going on a sailboat, talking and eating and just having a great time? It's a relationship with Jesus. Dates with Jesus signifies a relationship with Jesus. I was talking to a client a couple days ago who is a newer Christian. He became a Christian because his wife was a Christian. And I asked what his faith means to him. And he said, "Well, I became a Christian because I believe the values are so important. And I think it's going to be good for my children to be raised with the values of Christianity." And then I said, "Well, what about your relationship with Jesus? Do you have a relationship with Jesus?" And he thought about it and he said, "No, not really. It's more about the values of Christianity that I'm adopting." And I just thought to myself, oh, you're missing so much. There's so much more than just adopting the values of Christianity. Being in relationship with Jesus is what differentiates Christianity from every other religion out there. There are a lot of religions that aspire to or have standards that are wonderful, or they inspire you to want to be more and do more and serve more. But the only religion that really impacts your heart in a way that is transformative, truly, is Christianity, because it's about a relationship with Jesus. A couple weeks ago, I was out of town with my kids, and we were staying at a nice hotel. And while we were walking down the hall, I started talking with a lady who stopped me and asked me a question. And she mentioned to me that LeBron James, the famous basketball player, was eating in a restaurant at our hotel. So my family had just eaten, but we thought it would be fun to go into the same restaurant and see if we could see LeBron James and maybe just have a cup of coffee and dessert while we were in there. So I walked up to we went into the restaurant, and I said to the hostess, "Is LeBron James still here?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Would it be okay if we just came in and had coffee and dessert?" And she said, "How many of you are there?" And I said, "About 5 or 6 of us." And she said, "Oh, I only have room at his table for 2 more." And I said, "Oh, I'm not with him. I'm not with his group. It's just my kids and I wanted to come in and have coffee." And she said, "Oh, this is a 4-course meal restaurant, so you have to have the whole meal. You can't just come in and have coffee and dessert. If you were with him at his table, I could have sat you and you could have had coffee and dessert." So it just made me laugh, and I left. We didn't end up going in there, but I just thought it's so it's so interesting. Life is so interesting. You think about being part of a group in a special club where you have special privileges that you don't if you're not in that club. And really, Christianity is kind of like this. We are in the greatest club of all. We get to hang out with Jesus anytime we want. There's a verse in the Bible in Revelation that says, it's Jesus speaking, and he says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him and he with me." So he's saying, here I am. I'm knocking on the door. Listen to my voice. Open the door. Invite me in. Have a meal with me. He's wanting to have dates with us. He's wanting to hang out with us. He's wanting to eat with us. And we're in this special club. If you've asked Jesus into your heart, There is nothing like a relationship with Jesus. It's not just about good values. These values are wonderful and they help you live a better life, no doubt. But what makes life rewarding, fulfilling, exciting is being in relationship with Jesus. He's standing at the door, he's knocking, he's wanting us to invite him in, sit at the table, hang out, have a date with him.